Okay, so before you ask, no, it's not about that one guy on Twitter. This is about someone I met through Little Big Planet that I really am not happy with, and I'm basically this close to cutting her off. Now, why you may ask? Well, I'm about to tell you this now. And before we get into this, leave a like if you enjoyed. So this story, I'm going to give it the backstory of this person who I'm going to call Karen. Yes, fucking Karen, because this girl in this year, including a year ago, acts like a crazy bitch. So about a few years ago, before COVID-19 ever existed, this girl was actually a fan of my Creepypasta levels to where she added me on PlayStation. At first I was a little skeptical about accepting it, but I just did it anyway. Then I introduced her to some other people, and over the years it seemed like things were okay. But sadly, not everything lasts long. Now that the backstory is done, let's get into what's going on now. So this whole thing started like back in 2021, and this was before and during when I was getting hate by the LBP community. It's just a normal day as usual, and I was uploading videos and doing collabs with people. Nothing didn't seem weird at all. But then Karen suddenly invites me to Little Big Planet 3, and usually I'm busy doing something such as making videos or getting gameplay footage, but I wasn't this time. So I decided to get on that game and I ended up joining her. And for some odd reason, something told me not to join her and I felt uneasy. And I was confused as to why I was acting like this, and I'd never done that before. But I ignored it and I decided to join her. Yep, I regretted it. So I end up in her pod, and all seemed okay. And then she says, "Hi, Xavenior, I made a new character that I wanted to show you." And I was like, another character? What did she make this time? She always wanted me to see her new character she makes, and I don't like to be rude, but sometimes she makes weird ass characters. The reason I tell her that I like them is because I don't want to hurt her feelings, but it's just most of them are cringe and weird names. But it's this one character that she made that not only made me uncomfortable, but sometimes question about her. So I asked her what is the character, and you want to guess what she told me? The character's name was the Offenderman. The fucking Offenderman of all things, you had to name it that. And you're probably going to ask, well, what does it matter? Why get so annoyed with that name? Well, let me tell you the story of the Offenderman is that he's a spin-off of Slenderman, but let's just say this character, you can read by the screenshot and going on the Wikipedia about this character. So yeah, you know why I was so uncomfortable with this. At first, I didn't know what the Offenderman was, but then she goes into details and explains what the character is, and I shit you not, I thought she was joking to just try to fuck with me or something, but nope, she was being very serious about it. And I'm just shocked and lost for words. You literally just made a fucking weirdo that goes after children, and you don't really find that creepy and gross? That was a red flag warning to me. So I tell her that this character is very bad, and she asked me why, and I tell her, look Karen, if I know the LBP community, I know most of them don't tolerate any creeps and shit like a fictional character that does that shit. So I know that they will go after you if you tell them about this character. And I even told her to get rid of the character to never use it again, and I thought she would listen and realize how creepy this character is. But nope, she didn't listen to me, like people usually do. Instead, she gets very pissed at me and says, don't be such a square. I know he has done bad stuff, but he changed. And I'm like, excuse me? And she says, he just wants to be loved by someone, and he wants someone in his life instead of being judged by people like you. And the first thing I'm thinking is, there's no possible way this girl is serious. This girl is saying I'm judging a fucking fictional character that preys on children and needs to die, and she is defending him. And I was just at loss for words. So I say to her, look, I'm just trying to prevent you from making a mistake, and you should probably do some research on the Offenderman. And still, she wouldn't listen to me and tried to justify it by saying, he's the sweetest and kind person on the planet that wants someone, and I'm getting tired of you being rude and mean to me and him. And because of that, we just got into an argument. It didn't last long, but she eventually calmed down and finally looked it up. And when she did, I'm thinking, great, this girl finally understands what I'm talking about, and she will finally get rid of the Offenderman. Nope, it didn't end there. It turns out she kept the character and still refused to get rid of him. Over the past few months leading up to when I was getting drama on Twitter with the Little Big Planet community, there has been constant fighting between me and her over the Offenderman. She gets so mad over the smallest things, but it doesn't end there. There was this one thing that she did that made me so uncomfortable that I really had to distance myself from her. Whenever I'm in a party with her and there was other people there, she would literally moan in the fucking microphone. She doesn't do it every time in the party, but she only does it that whenever I'm trying to annoy her on purpose or I hit my microphone. That she usually does that. And I told her many times to please stop moaning in the mic because it makes me uncomfortable, and I know it makes other people in the party uncomfortable. And I wasn't the only one that hated this. There was another guy in that party that didn't really like what this girl was doing, and he actually agreed that this girl is not only a fucking weirdo, but it's just, this girl is just not in there. She's just dumb. She's very dumb. He even questions about her being a creep and hates it when she moans in the mic. And there was this one time when he was with her in a party, she started moaning in the microphone again, and when he told me this, I was like, okay, I'm seriously getting tired of her bullshit and her inappropriate behavior. Even the guy who I'm going to call James in this video, he's an awesome friend, he was tired of her too, and now both of us had two options here. We could block her, report her account, and never talk to her again, or two, continue dealing with her bullshit. Usually whenever we get into fights, I always tell her that I'm gonna block her, and she gets sad and say, please don't block me, then guilt trips me by saying, oh, I've been bullied and judged by people. And I always giving her another chance. I always fall for the fucking guilt trips every time, because I'm a dumbass for falling for it anyway. And there was this one time she said the N-word, and I got so pissed at it, but I let it go. Now, before I mention what happened in this year, in January, let me just say that this girl is fucking almost turning 20 this year, and she still acts like a fucking brat, so yeah, not a good look. So, as the year 2022 finally hits, a few days ago, something happened where things were now becoming even worse. So, I was on my PS4 just minding my own business, getting a video ready to upload, which was the Minecraft one that I uploaded like a few days ago. And all of a sudden, I get a party invite from that crazy Karen bitch. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to join this girl. I've already had enough of her. But I decided, you know what, just let it go. So I joined the party, and it's just her and her best friend, who is also now her boyfriend for some reason. It was normal at first, but then she mentions the Offenderman, and I shit you not, I got mad at that, and I said, bruh, please get rid of the fucking character. I'm tired of saying this, but the Offenderman needs to go. And she says, look, I know you hate him, but you don't know him. He's a sweet, caring person, and you are just bullying him. Don't be such a square. And I say to her, it's a fucking fictional character. What the fuck are you talking about? And then she goes on to say how she had this dream about the Offenderman and that he let her touch her and all that. And I really wanted to say to her, okay, I don't want to know what your fucking weird ass fantasies are, but you saying that you have dreams about some fucking weirdo is a bit concerning right now. And as usual, we got into a heated argument because I was literally about to block her at this point. And it got so bad that her boyfriend was staying silent, but then he suddenly was breathing heavily because he was upset and tired of this fighting. So I just ended up leaving the party and I joined James. I told James exactly what happened, and he's like, oh god, she is just scary and will never listen. It's like she's so fucking dumb. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm getting fucking sick of it. And then he asked me, are you gonna make a story time about this? And I say to him, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make a story time, fuck her. After a lot of stuff happened, and it just led to us staying distant. Since then, nothing else got worse. Then the next day came, and I go on Twitter, and I tweeted the following saying, when you try to convince your friend that something is wrong and illegal, but they continue to defend it and never listen, can you really be around them any longer? Sins. And I was talking about the situation I had with Karen. Now, I'm still thinking about doing one of the two options I mentioned a few minutes ago, but at this point, I'm this close to choosing option 1. However, I do remember that she had me added on her father's account, which I'm tempted to message him and tell him what his daughter is doing. I don't really know if I should. In the end, everything is okay now. She hasn't said anything to me for the past few days. But that's it for this video, and I thought it was time for me to make a story time about some stupid LBP creator bringing the Offenderman onto a Little Big Planet. And the moral of this story is, don't make characters that do shit like the Offenderman and not have weird ass fantasies about it. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you are new, follow me on Twitter because that's where you can contact me and get the latest news. Join my Discord server, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.